Hey there, Maria back with another video. So it's 11:05 a.m. It is June 22nd and it is Saturday morning. Did you guys see the full moon last night? It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. I like to take advantage of those days. I didn't really get a chance to go outside very much. I did go for a walk last night. That was actually before the sun went down, mainly because I've been having problems with my hip. I don't know. I think there's, I have one of those, what do you call it? Those like foam mattress beds. And, I think I need a new one, really. I do. And I was sleeping, and no matter what position I was in, it was just like constantly, my leg was just constantly bothering me. So, I tried to sit down. There was pain on my leg. It was shooting all the way down to my leg, right? And so I thought, okay, the only comfort I was getting is if I was pacing around my bedroom, right? So I started doing that. And so I just said, I'm going to go out for a walk. So I did that. This morning I woke up and I had a hard time sleeping last night, mainly because, a lot of times people have a problem sleeping during the full moon because like the moon's energy kind of like affects the water in our body, right? It makes us hyper alert and just like agitated. That issue I had to take in consideration, and I also had to deal with this issue with my hip, right? So it's very difficult when, usually when you don't feel good, the first thing you want to do is lay down, right? And you can't lay down because there's pain, and I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? That's true misery. It's true misery when you cannot lay down for comfort. So I got up this morning and I went for a walk. I went to the store and came back, so I'm going to be kind of doing some stretches on this leg to see if I can get this pain out of my hip. I don't like that. I hate it. It's like it's this dull, weird pain that's just like really irritating me. So hopefully I'll be able to get some decent sleep the entire night. So I wanted to let some people know I'm making some announcements on my channel today. As everyone knows, I've been dealing with a lot of issues and I've been taking some time off the last few days. I don't know, I think I haven't made a video in like 2 days. And I've just been doing some thinking, and I'm also doing some re-strategizing of the Swan Song Manifesto, which I've made that known before. So of course I've been working on content, and I'm going to let you know a little bit more about that in just a minute. But those are my announcements. My announcements is number one, is that, I know I got some intuitive messages about people who are, talking amongst themselves about this issue of my YouTube channels. Now, I have decided to create another YouTube channel. It's a Swan Song under the name of Swan Song Manifesto. Okay, I will put the link in the description box. All right. Also, this issue with Patreon, I had mentioned before that I'm going to be finding another platform, and I do believe I found another one. And it seems like, the format of it seems like it's easy to work with, and I enjoy, the way the content is laid out. So I'm going to have more information. I have created a little commercial, and it will be at the end of this particular video. Okay. And right now, my issues, I think, have been more focused on, and this is going to be the first video that I'm posting on my new channel. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to post this video. I think I'll go ahead and post another video for my first post for my new channel, because I haven't posted any videos yet. Originally, I posted the Flipping the Nazi Experiment on it, and then I realized that it made a reference to joining Patreon, and I'm like, no. So I took that one down. And so I'm going to be adjusting the, what do you call it? The ending, because it doesn't really apply anymore. So anyway, I've been focusing a lot on CB Braganza in the last few days, and me seeing the similarities of this man. And actually there's just so many similarities. It's almost just like, like he died in 1953, or I'm sorry, 1956, right? And then he ended up getting cloned. I got cloned. Sometime in 1970. I was born in 1971. Okay, it was almost as if I was picking up off of directly from where CB Braganza left off, with all the dealing with the harassment and everything. I did get a little bit of reprieve when, I was younger, but like right when I was 6 years old, that's when all the harassment started. So, it's me. I'm focusing a lot on CB Braganza, and I'm this is just how I feel. Like I feel there's such a deep connection to his life and his experiences, right? So anyway, I did get some intuitive message this morning. I'm not doing any celebrity readings right now. This is mostly for my announcements. I did, get these messages about the whole Libra 14 thing, right? And I know that there's been discussions about people realizing that, the whole matchmaking thing was really a bad idea. And I'm glad people understand that now. I think that a lot of people are talking about some of the things that people do that they really shouldn't do because it causes a lot of problems. And this is one of these problems, and I'm glad about that. I will say that I did go on to Instagram. Was it yesterday or the day before? Oh, I don't remember. Okay, I went on Instagram, just kind of checking my stuff a little bit, and I noticed that Libra 14 or Libra 14 icon was trying to reach out to me, like as to follow me or something. And I have my weird feelings about this whole Libra 14 thing. So I just ignored it. Okay. I right now I'm just trying to focus on me. Okay. This whole thing has been a complete nightmare. And I think stated this before. I don't really believe that is Libra 14 reaching out to me, but if he would reach out to me, that would be completely inappropriate to do so. I'm making changes in my life, and this is what I believe puts me apart from a lot of people, meaning I'm one of these people who's strong enough to say, what, this is what I don't want. And I do have a way of looking at things, to where I'm not going to even be tempted to ever want to even deal with somebody once they have hurt me in some sort of manner like that. You know what I mean? So I'm moving on. So anyway, the next thing is a lot of people like the fact that I reveal a lot of truths, right? I'm somebody who observes a lot of things where a lot of people don't pay attention to hidden truths, something that's obvious, and a lot of people are just blinded with denial because they're not able to handle things like the truth. Okay, but I understand that I have a very unique way of looking at things, mainly because of my experiences of being CB Braganza and coming back for a second chance and being disappointed at my second chance by the same sort of cabal that really harmed CB Braganza in his past life. Okay, so I understand human nature. I have been placed in a situation in my life because I was a victim of an experiment where I was a target of hatred. Okay, so I am suited, okay, for being able to help other people who are dealing with things like trauma. Okay, because I will tell you, I was set up to deal with trauma. Okay, and I'm not somebody who can walk around. I've never had the privilege of being able to walk around believing in what I call Sesame Street thinking or some sort of programming to where I have this belief that people are kind or they're caring or whatever. I've seen the true nature of people because of me being in an experiment. So I understand. See, I've experienced and studied people all my life. Okay, plus that, because I understood people so well, I took an independent study in psychology. So I understood, there's a terminology for this way that this person is acting. So I understand this, whereas other people understand these things in theory, because you could read about psychology, but have you experienced it? See, when people go to study things, they are actually studying case studies of people who've actually experienced it. Okay, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's not that I don't value formalized education. It is just, I'm saying is that you can study something in theory, but somebody like me has studied it in theory, but has also experienced it. I can identify it and I can understand it completely, and I can know how to navigate through it. You know what I mean? I'm a living testament of it. So I'm appreciative that people acknowledge that. And I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this stuff on these YouTube channels, okay, because a lot of people talk about me. Oh, and you know what? I just wanted to show you guys my Ankh earrings. Now, I bought these a while ago. I don't remember what store it was, but I got them on Amazon, right? I didn't think that they were going to be this big, okay? But I am seriously on this Egyptian thing. And I got these, I think sometime last year, and I never used them because, or wore them because I always like, ritualistically cleanse and charge every jewelry that I think has some sort of symbolic meaning. So I really didn't have the time to do that. So they sat in my jewelry box for a very long time. And now, once I start looking, I'm like, damn, these are big, these are huge. But you know what? It's okay because I'm in my own home. And even if I did want to wear them outside, I'm going to tell you right now, I would do that if I wanted to. Okay. And I know there's some people who like to focus on me as a person, and they like to compare and contrast about what they would do and what they wouldn't do. Like, they would look at my life. I was targeted because people studied my lifestyle, right? They studied my lifestyle and they didn't like it. They didn't like me because they didn't understand how I lived my life. But I have a choice. I mean, I have a right to live my life the way that I want to. And it's not about being rebellious. It's just me living within the guidelines of what I'm allowed to do. And this is why I appreciate things like the Declaration of Independence and the reason why we do have laws. And this is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with rebellion because I'm not rebelling against anybody. Okay? The guidelines of the law protect us. Okay? Also, this is our God-given right. Like, if we feel drawn to something, then we should do it. And of course, it interferes with somebody else. Okay, that's the whole thing. Okay, so I believe that the system of government that was originally established was built on divine wisdom by very intelligent people who understood this universal law of what people need in order to feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Brilliant, right? Everybody should live in. By the way, the 4th of July is coming up very soon, and I've never been somebody who was like, I've always, when I was growing up, my mother used to like put my hair in ponytails with like red, white, and blue ribbons, and sometimes I would have a little patriotic shirt or something like that. And I still think that that's important. You know why? Because I live here in the United States. That's why. And it is a place that, since I live here, I'm going to cherish that and value that. So I will be doing a video on an additional food magic video on 4th of July foods. Okay. The next message I have is, I know people do think it's kind of funny because, I'm a genius, okay? And because of that, I deal with a lot of people who come up with ideas that could be catastrophic, right? And because I understand things like laws, and I have foresight, and because I have so much experience and understanding of human nature, I can see people making big mistakes, and I have to live with that, right? And I've lived with that. Like, this experiment, for example, and the people who got involved in it, and the sort of ideas that they had, thinking and insisting that they were going to enforce their lifestyle on me. Look what it caused. Look at the damage it caused, right? And some people think, hey, this is a good idea, or we're doing something for her own good, or we're doing blah 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 blah. These sort of ideas, don't ever do that again. So I know that my ex network, they know how I feel about them. But I do want to say that there can be things such as things called peaceful partings. Okay, hey, you know what? We live in a world where people are very ignorant, and some of it's evil. Okay, and I don't know. Like I said, I've analyzed the situation and the duration of the time, that I went through all of this. So it's, to me at this point, it's not. I don't want to sit here and pick through whether it was evil or ignorance. I think it was a combination of all of it, and I recognize that. I will say that being in this situation killed a lot of my drive. Meaning, like, what I mean by that is, like, if I didn't have the sort of endurance that I had, then I would have ended up like C.B. Berganza. Okay, and I do believe that this sort of experiment was meant to set me up like C.B. Berganza. Okay, because if you obviously know the history of what happened to this person, and somebody who thought it was a good idea to enact some sort of menticide on a person, well, I have to question that, right? And I think anybody would come to the conclusion that this was some sort of pathological sickness, okay, and that I don't want to be a part of. So anyway, moving on. And I don't want to talk about these things anymore. So I'm going to tell you right now, like the Swan Song Manifesto, the reason why I'm separating these channels is because I want the Swan Song Manifesto on YouTube to talk only about, number one, what I'm doing on my Swan Song Manifesto on my new channel. Okay. I'm also going to be doing a lot of celebrity readings. I'm going to be still posting celebrity readings on this particular channel until I feel as though I'm comfortable with the number count on the Swan Song Manifesto, and then I will probably not phase this channel out, but I'm just going to kind of leave it alone because I don't want to rant anymore. This channel was about ranting. It was about straight up ranting about something that somebody did, me reliving some sort of trauma, me having some sort of issue, me thinking about some weird stuff, whatever. I don't want to deal with it anymore. Okay, so anyway, apparently I know that there's a lot of white people who really admire me, and I have a lot of white fans. Okay, I do appreciate that, and I'm sorry that this had to be a racial issue, but I do think it's a very spiritual issue, and the more I think about it, the more I don't like thinking about it, meaning because I think that this is such a spiritual issue that it blows my mind. You know what I mean? I am somebody who I believe that was chosen for something, not just this experiment. Sometimes, you know, the forces, the power, universal forces, God or whatever, works, like they used to say, your grandmother used to probably tell you this, works in mysterious ways. Okay, I was taken because I was a unique person. There was issues on the world that needed to be addressed. Okay, there was issues relating to race, there was issues relating to being a woman, there was issues about abuse, there was issues about all these issues that affected mankind were directed to me, on me, placed on me. I had to deal with it all, and I had to speak out. You know what I mean? And I think because obviously I was well equipped, I had an answer for everything, for every accusation, for everything that happened. I had a solution for it. Why? Because I was a chosen one. You know what I mean? This is a very spiritual issue. Okay, so I am not in any way, you know, trying to have some sort of vendetta against white people. I would say at this point, by what I've experienced, if I had to, I would say I had a problem with the entire human race. Black, white, Mexican, Asian, every issue. Because when I think about the Nazi experiment and how this affected the people, the minds of people, okay, and the damage that it caused, okay, and it was a very evil thing that brought out the worst in people. Mind you, the person who created all of this never cared one bit about the races that got involved in this. They'd kill you too if they had the chance. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying is like this brings awareness, okay? And it brings awareness on the fact that how alone we are in this world. Like I've also talked about, you know, deception within the family, being abused by family, feeling that you had a sense of a family, and then having that shit just ripped right out from underneath you. There's a lot of people who deal with abuse, okay? So I am somebody who was chosen. I am a chosen one. Meaning this is so spiritual that, you know, and I was chosen because I had the strength. That's why. Oh, you know what? Celebrities are now doing independent projects. This is something I've noticed, okay? Notice this on things like Instagram, and I think that's wonderful. I know I've made statements about that, you know, celebrities being able to, you know, supplement their income when they're not working on, you know, particular projects, like whether they're actors, they're not working on a movie, they're not working on a TV series right now. I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm very glad they're doing that. You know what I mean? So I'm very glad. If this issue is what brought that to happen, which I do believe that it did, then that's wonderful. See, this is another spiritual blessing that got showered down to mankind because of my suffering. Now, believe it or not, as sick as that is, sometimes people have to suffer for people to be free. I'm glad that the experiment is over. It was unethical, but this is such an eye-opener to understand human nature. Okay, because I don't see how anybody couldn't have known from the get-go that something like that was weird. Like, you know, you don't bully somebody. Okay, but this was like some sort of hand down, go ahead and bully somebody. Okay, so you need to understand something about it. This is a very good thing, an example about human nature. Okay, and about the things that we allow ourselves to do and participate in. It also talks a lot or highlights the issue of people who have dualistic thinking. Like they'll tell their kid, hey, don't bully other kids, don't do this or stuff, but they'll do it to an adult. They'll do it to their adult coworker or something. You know, it's that it's an eye opener. Okay. I mean, like I said, I will be doing celebrity readings and posting celebrity readings on both channels. Okay. Oh, Also, I wanted to make it very clear. I know one of the issues that I was dealing with in the past was, people feeling as though I needed to have a love requirement in order for me to make a living. That was horrible. Okay? I can't tell you how, even though I hated what these people did to me, okay, there is a lesson to be learned about this, okay, because a lot of women are battered, a lot of women are abused, a lot of women have nowhere to go, okay, and there is no reason why anybody should sit here and act as if they have some sort of right over a woman to prevent her from being able to making a living, okay. Now, I'm speaking for all women. I'm not speaking just for black women. I'm speaking for all women. Okay? Women need that protection. And so this issue had to happen to bring that to light. Okay, I want to talk about my new videos. My new videos that I have are 2 follow-ups from Flipping the Nazi Experiment. Okay? And the first one is called Hope for the Discontentment. Hope for the discontented. Now, I use that word for people who are generally unhappy in life, people who are, it's the vicious cycle, okay? I think because we live in hell, okay, we are basically thrown into this pit of a bunch of discontented people, okay? And it surrounds us, it chokes the life out of us, it misleads us, it abuses us, it lies to us, it deceives us, okay? And so, understanding me being placed in all of this, I feel as though I'm well suited to talk about the discontented. And then it talks about, that there's hope for the discontented. Like, I kind of analyzed why people are unhappy. Okay, and in the other follow-up video of that, which is called Everyday Alchemy, when I called it alchemy, right? Because it's like alchemy deals with transmuting, right? Changing whatever. So, everyday products, everyday habits. And I kind of go into a little bit about, my habits, because I know I was targeted, but I want people to understand that self-love is something that you have to have. Okay, you have to have self-love. I know people always say things like, love one another. And I think everybody knows deep down inside. And this is what I'm saying, okay? You use your brain. Is it possible to love everyone? No, it is not. We know we've been stabbed in the back by multiple people, even our family members, okay? And I'm saying, bring in self-love. Okay, do not fall for the deceptive lie that somebody's going to save you. You are your own savior in this world. Okay, I'm not saying don't believe in God. I'm just saying is when it comes to people, okay, people who are capable of, making mistakes, people who have to live in a monetary system and can get desperate will stab you in the back. Okay, and hopefully if you guys have families, you will raise them with family values to where you have understand each other, that you guys should be building each other up. Okay, but anyway, I'm talking about in this video Everyday Alchemy grooming tips, okay, but it also can be used for magic, okay, like things like clothes, okay, and I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to clothes, I wear whatever I want to wear. So when it comes to people who want fashion advice, I'm going to tell you there's a lot of people out there who can give you better advice than me. Why do I say this? Is because I wear what I want, and I usually wear for magical purposes, or based on a memory, or I'm trying to invoke a certain feeling or whatever in myself. Okay, so I'm what they call an eclectic dresser. Okay, but for people who want help on things specific, like I wear makeup, but I'm not an expert on telling people how to apply makeup. So I'm basically just telling people, as a form of self-love, this is what I do, and I show bits and pieces about certain things that I look at, and certain garments, like there's certain kind of clothes that I'm attracted to. Like I like a lot of foreign clothes. I like things like kurtas, like Indian peasant blouses. I like clothes from like the 1970s with like those big collars and stuff. I love that kind of stuff. So I basically wear what I feel. Okay, but if somebody wants expert advice, there are so many people on YouTube, who could advise you on makeup colors that are meant for your colors. Okay, people who can advise you on your style based on your body shape and type. Okay, I am not in a position to do that. I'm just telling you, these are some of the enjoyments of life that I choose to indulge in as form of self-love, because I know there's very little love in the world, so I'm going to sit here and indulge myself. And I encourage other people to do so with whatever they like. Not everybody likes makeup. Not everybody likes jewelry. Not everybody likes, girly stuff. But it could be something that applies to a man. Maybe a man likes playing a certain sport. I mean, what it is do what you love. The things that you love to do are keeping you here. It's making it bearable, is what it is. Okay. Also, I am not going to be a singer. I have no interest in being a singer. I know one of the things that really irritates me about this whole thing is the deal was, okay, I got to be cloned, right? My dad was thinking, I don't know what he thought about the industry. I have no idea. He probably thought all kinds of cool stuff about the industry. Whatever. Okay, I am not a singer. At 53 years old, Maria's not coming out as a singer. But I would love to do some duets with some people, which I think would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? I don't know how. I don't have the equipment to do any recordings, but there's a couple people that I kept thinking, if there's this one song, and it's not really meant to be a duet, but I always thought this should be a duet, and I think I would like to sing it with this person. So I do have little things like that I have in mind. And so, but I don't really know anybody that closely to where I could sit here and let's go ahead and get together. But that would be cool if I did. But singing definitely is cool. I am also sorry that this issue had to have brought in religion. I'm sorry that people were against me because of religious issues. Okay. I think I've studied a lot of religion. Of course I have, you know what I mean? And the Swanson Manifesto, or me in general, okay, I've never been somebody who protested the church in general, and when it comes to the occult, I would say I teach magic in a way that it can be incorporated with anybody's spiritual belief, okay? You can be any spiritual belief you choose to. You can still, wear a blue blouse on Monday if you want to tap into Monday's vibe and energy. You don't have to change your religion just because you watch me. And I am not in any way contesting any religion or whatever. If it works for you, if your religion that you grew up with works for you, if it resonates with you, if you believe in it, meaning you feel as though that faith has done good, positive things for you, and it's given you the kind of life that you want, and you're content with that, then I have never been somebody who said, you need to change your religion. I've never said that. Okay, I'm just somebody who enjoys the occult, which I will tell you right now. The religion is derived from the occult. Surprise, surprise, it is. Okay, so this actually, what I do and what I live, how I live, predates religion. So feel free to, incorporate your spells. And when you really think about it, when you look in certain churches, a lot of the symbolism on the altars, the stained glass windows, all that's the occult, baby. It is what it is. Okay, so anyway, I did want to, let everybody know that, I do want this to be a peaceful parting. Peaceful parting. I don't want to have animosity, and I have no interest in trying to, retaliate or anything. I would prefer, to go on with the rest of my life and just deal with life, because what I want to do with the Swanson Manifesto is it's about, when I really look at it and understand how all of this happened, it's about C.B. Berganza's second chance at life and having people squashed his second chance at life, right, when he came back as me, Maria Gordon, right? And I'm picking up the pieces from being thrown out of the 9 to 5. You know what I mean? From being bullied all my life continuously, from being in a Nazi experiment, and how I coped with things, okay? But this is who I am. I'm an occultist. I'm an occultist who came back. I'm the reincarnation of Prince Alamehu, who lived as C.B. Berganza. And I was really thinking about C.B. Berganza's name. Obviously, the last name Berganza came from the Portuguese line of the royal families, right? And it was meant to mock C.B. Berganza. I mean, I was meant to mock. Oh, well, I don't know if it was meant to mock, really. I don't know. I haven't really done a study as to who gave him that name. I get this feeling that it could have been his soulmate, okay, who gave him that name. I don't know. Okay, for sure. I need to do some more meditating on it. But I do understand that name came from that line. Okay, and I also believe that his middle name that he used, Brazan, was like a play on letters, or somehow, like, because you know the word brazen, because I would describe myself as sometimes being brazen, and I have to be. And I think sometimes people look at that word as a negative, like it has a negative connotation to it. But see, if you're a woman all by yourself and you're not allowed to kill your enemies, you have to come out and say things and use your words as power. Okay, so if that means tearing your enemy's mama down, or if that means like just literally going for the jugular, saying something rude and offensive to your enemy after they've done something to you, then I'm going to do that. And I get the feeling, because I'm so much like C.B. Braganza, that's exactly why he got that name. Okay, when it comes to Calvin, I keep thinking, Calvin, doesn't that have something to do with some sort of religious reformation? Calvin, I'm trying to think of the name. He was Protestant. I'll have to look it up. Okay, but I have done, like, really analyze, like, did he pick this name apart? Was this name put together, with some sort of like conscious effort? I kind of think so. Whatever. Anyway, some people think that my niche should be philosophy with occult leanings. Okay, my philosophy in life, I never shared my views, my political views, or how I live my life or whatever, really with anybody. But see, the thing is, I was in an experiment and people noticed my lifestyle. They noticed that I was a woman who raised my kid by themselves. Okay, they noticed that everything I planned for myself. They noticed that I was extremely independent. They never, even though they're the ones who made me and forced me into this life, right? By their forceful nature, I, of course, did everything I could to try to protect myself. So they put me in this situation, all right? And so I learned how to navigate with all the people, and I also learned how to deal with coping skills with negative people, identify their mental illness that was coming at me, and I learned how to live and survive, okay, with narcissistic people, around narcissistic people. And I was able to put up barriers. I was able to have a mindset that made it so that I could never want to even think about living like these people. Okay, that is a form of a philosophy. It's a way of life, right? Not everybody can live this life. Okay, my life is very unique based on my experiences. Okay, but does my experience have occult leanings? Yes, of course it does. And it also it's truth. Okay, I understand how people will behave in groups, especially with herd mentality. You know what I mean? I understand the format, the social format, and the paradigm of our Earth's, the worldly mindset, right? It's like, not that I'm a Bible thumper, but I do remember my readings in the Bible where, God was basically saying, the inclination of the human heart is bad. Like, people are wicked, okay? And I don't want to be wicked. That's the last thing in the world I want to do. I want to live a righteous life. I always have. Okay, that doesn't mean that I'm dogmatic. That doesn't mean I'm judgmental. That doesn't mean that I sit here and look down on people. No, it does not mean that I think that people shouldn't have sex. You know what I mean? I never said that. Okay, I became asexual because I find people disgusting, like disgusting, grabby, people who are disgusting in their way of like trying to come at me and knowing good and well that I don't want them. You know what I mean? And plus, I've been all spiritual most of my life and had to deal with what I could call the ugly side of human nature. That why in the world do I want to sit here and have something on me, right, or in me that is going to abuse me? Okay, I'm a woman on the run, meaning I have to take care of myself. I can't think about stuff like that. So I don't sit here and daydream about sex. I daydream about survival. Number one, first priority. You know what I mean? And so I can't put myself in situations like that. So, hey, I'm the kind of person, hey, you know what? You want to hang out in my house? You want to get freaky with somebody if you're having a party in my house? I don't have a problem with that. Don't think that I'm somebody who is like dogmatic. Oh, they're having sex, and I'm not. I'm cool with what people want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody. You have no idea. I am cool with everything as long as you're in the guidelines of the law and you're not hurting anybody. I don't care what you do. That's how I am. Okay, so no, it's not like that at all. So basically, my life is based on me always being aware that I'm all I have. Okay, and I think people are starting to see that, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I am going to post some information in the. I'm making a commercial for my new Swan Song Manifesto, and I am going to add it to the end of this video, so I'm going to be working on that right now. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back with another video sometime later. All my information is going to be in the description box. Take care. Bye-bye. The old legend says that in 1879, Prince Alamehu of Ethiopia fell ill, died, and was buried in the catacombs of St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. I am here to tell you today that those who believed in the legend were wrong. The prince lived on and made his way to America to become a successful metaphysical practitioner, displaying his unique craft as a clairvoyant, a phrenologist, astrologer, seer, and teacher. While in the States, he adapted the name of Calvin Brazan Berganza and traveled across the land, making a success in the occult mail order business. C.B. Berganza became known as the Prince of Mystics and impressed, mesmerized, and influenced many recognizable names in the New Thought movement, such as Edgar Cayce, Ellen White, and even Aleister Crowley. C.B. Berganza has returned to Earth through cloning. My name is Maria Gordon, and I am the reincarnation of C.B. Berganza. Instead of using the old mail order business, today C.B. Berganza returns to bring you esoteric lessons for the modern age with the Swan Song Manifesto online. From now until September, the Swan Song Manifesto is offering 4 to 6 monthly magic video lessons, celebrity interviews, metaphysical product reviews, and fun contests with cash and mojo prizes. In addition, a quarterly newsletter will be posted at the beginning of each month. The total price for this special offer is $7.50 instead of the monthly fee of $10. Click on the link in the description box to support the Swan Song Manifesto.